Okay, so I'm already doing this, you guys. Like, holy crap, you're here in the flesh. Wow. Thanks for this movie, by the way.
All right.
We were really trying to do our bit for objectifying men, because I think women have been the centerpiece of the objectification for so many years. So we just figured we'd toss it over there.
Serving you low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. And we appreciate that. Matthew, I think this is the kind of movie that no doubt you just have to dive into fearlessly.
Yeah. Well, just what it is. As soon as it's a stripper movie, you're in that world is already so carny, so sort of a subculture that you're like, it immediately brings a really laugh. It immediately has that to it that you're like, okay, this is going to be wild. Now, the literal stage of getting on that stage is the biggest leap.
Yeah.
Because you can, in the back locker room, you're doing scenes and you're playing a character, but then when you go from behind that curtain, it's action take the stage for the first time. That was one of the biggest buzzes I've had. That was like going out on the mound and throwing out the first pitch before a freaking baseball game in front of 60,000 people.
And even I've done it for real, and it was still terrifying.
Yeah,
right?
you were cranked up first time you went out too.
Completely. I was too jacked up. I couldn't even hear the music. I was so zinging.
Is it like riding a bike though?
Dancing is, but performing's not. Like you get so excited that because you have beats to hit and you have responsibilities. You can't just go out there and be like, wow, that doesn't work. But in all reality, you could do that because the girls don't really care in a way. But you want to do good. You want to perform well.
Yeah, and let's just face it, all you guys, I mean, one body's better than the next, honestly. Did you guys have ab competitions or, it's sickening, it's crazy.
I think we know Joe would take that cake. I believe he'd win that trophy.
Yeah. We're like, Joe, man, it's illegal.
Seriously, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah, what are you
I think
doing?
they actually had to shrink him for that poster. Like they couldn't actually have his real size.
That's right. But come on. We all love seeing you with your shirt off. It was a no-brainer for you probably to take on the role, huh?
This is a bit different. Had to learn to drop the trousers.
Drop the drawers.
That's a different,
complete new challenge.
Yeah. I've been doing character work on this thing for years.
So that's true. You led right up to it, Matthew. Like all these years.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was out there in the horizon, and then I got that call, and I was like, that's it. I'm ready.
I'm ready to go to new places, break new ground.
We're going down low. Let's get the leathers and get them off.
Now, did you guys go home to your significant others and practice?
I definitely did. But I don't know. Jenna kind of loves that she married a male stripper for some strange reason. So it's kind of funny and fun.
And is that why Camilla said, "I'm going to marry you"? Because finally you did this for her?
I think that's the reason we're married.
It's the only one. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Not the kids, not the whatever. Just that.
Yeah, they happened on
Magic
nights.
Mike did that.
that was. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
No, we practiced a few moves. I was very nervous about. I'd never done choreographed dancing like that. Never been out on stage like that, and so we had these choreographers that we got to work with quite a bit. And I'd still be rehearsing if they'd let me. If the movie wouldn't shoot until next year, I'd still be rehearsing the moves. But I had to come home and try to practice a few because it's embarrassing, especially to do them not well in front of your significant other, to not pull them off. And then the big thing is the eyes.
Yeah.
You gotta lock in and own it. And then the other hard thing was trying not to mouth the song, the lyrics, because it's a nervous tick how you kind of keep a meter.
Yeah,
call me.
Yeah, because you're keeping time.
Yeah.
You're keeping time by that, and also you generally like the song that you're stripping to, so you want to sing with it, and it's hard to do. My Pony is one of my favorite songs of all time. So, to get to dance to that was huge.
Yeah. Well, any stripping mishaps going on, especially with all those lady extras around?
Not so much mishaps. I probably almost killed one when I flipped off the stage. I think I came that close to hitting her.
The back flip?
Yeah, the flip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have hurt somebody.
But Matthew, you were right out in there in that crowd.
Yeah,
there had to have been something going on there with those ladies.
There was some things going on. They were wonderful. They were well behaved. To the extent that they were. It got kind of right. I had to get out of there. I'll tell you that. I had to exit.
Yeah, do a do a like military roll out of it.
Pull her out, stay on time. The old G string got.
I just want to know what the call was for, how do you become an extra on this film, and how did I miss that?
I don't know. Talk to your agent. I'm not sure.
There must have been a million women
There
lining
were
up.
two. It was two groups, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was 2 groups. Yeah, and you could tell because during like the first part of the day with the new group, they don't know what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do, and,
Right.
and we would just be like, look, this is a real strip. Like, just treat it like if someone does something cool, stand up and cheer. Like, throw dollar bills, go crazy. And you could tell, like, after lunch, they'd start to loosen up a little bit, and they would just be like, all right, okay, cool. And then by the end of the day, you just had to tell them to calm down a little bit. Like, kept getting in the way of the camera with this guy. They were just like attacking.
Is there such a thing called a thong boundary? Like you guys had to, when you had your thongs on, you kind of had to stay away from each other?
Nope, that's oh, each other. Yes. There's
Like when you have your thong on, how close do you get to?
Yeah, there's a little man law involved where you're not trying to bump into each other with
no
thongs on.
sweat swapping.
No.
No.
We weren't like, oh man, you got something on your thumb. Like, we weren't picking each other's lint. Let's just say that.
You handle your own self tanning.
Yeah.
And manscaping. That's
Yep.
important.
It is important. It is important.
Yeah, like the waxing and everything. Come on, really? Like, ugh.
I ain't never doing it again. I'll tell you that.
I did it my one time.
Not coming. Why was Steven Soderbergh the right guy to direct this film?
You know what? One, Steven really caught fire on it. He's the one that kind of drove it through. He said, "Look, this needs to be a movie. I've never seen it before on screen. We should sit down, talk about it." And then we did. And so he really, it just caught fire in him. But why do I think he's probably one of the better people for this thing is because I don't think he fell into some of the pitfalls in which people would. Would make it all about the dancing, all about the sex, the drugs, and not have very much of a story or a character journey. And he's a stylist, he shoots it so beautiful. And for this to be an independent movie, this is a small movie. I think people forget that it's coming out on summer a big movie that people think it's this big expensive movie. It's an independent film.
Yeah, was it a huge draw for you to take on the role because of Soderbergh?
Yeah. Knowing that I was in the hands of somebody who's got a real specific point of view, not that I knew exactly what the point of view was going to be, but a guy who's a real artist, a real shaper. You said stylist. He's a real shaper.
Yeah.
And knowing that it wasn't going to be the typical, I get the one-liner on this. It's not going to be the typical male stripper movie. And also, I got this very early on, and I kind of thought this about Steven, but he likes funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He likes funny,
He
and
really does.
anything. And he also, there were places where myself and other people pushed it into those things, talking about the drugs, the sex, and things. Where he was like, "No, come on back a little bit."
Yeah.
Just the way he even shot some of the way he shot some of the, not even the male dancers, some of the female dancers.
Yeah.
Just where he would stop the camera in a tasteful yet suggestive way. It was very.
Yeah, you don't have any close-ups on other than maybe one, but but even that's done in a halfway tasteful manner, which is about a joke. It's not about the thing.
Yeah.
And I think other people would have went the opposite direction and made it all about that.
Yeah, well, good job. Congratulations. And if this acting thing doesn't work out for you guys, you know what you can
I guess
do.
something I can fall back
All
on.
right.
Absolutely. Congratulations. Great
Saturday
talking
night.
to you.
Thank you.